Hi, I am Kathy Ann Dixon.
And I am Arlene Owen.
Welcome to Azar.
We want to welcome you to another episode of Azar, and we are on the top of Alexander Hill, close, very close to the 100 steps where all the people from South exercise. We want to tell our Azar family, Katian, right now to go call up a friend, let them know we are on. Remember to comment. We want to hear from you.
Yes, this is definitely a beautiful spot in Vista Bella. Folks, we are seeing the sea
Yeah.
with ships out there. Really,
Yes,
really
really
beautiful.
nice, really nice.
Well, our topic today is embracing the seasons. And Darlene, what do you have to say?
Well, and these seasons are from the cradle, actually from your womb
Yes.
to the grave. And we want to talk a little bit and starting from infancy, where it's about 0 to 1,
Yeah.
the age group. And we want to talk about what happened during that season, that stage, and how we as parents and also the infants, what they do. One of the things we noticed, Kathy, and we're going to go straight into it, this is a time and a season where they are now, sometimes one author say there are milestones in their life where they are now having control of their own body at the age of 1, that is.
Yes.
Because I remember one of my baby, there was a joke in our family, her head always like this. That's all 3 months, 4 or 5 months, because her head is not steady as yet. And as she gets closer to 1, the head is steady. They have more control of their body. They can move, they can hold their bottle. Because as a baby, you have to feed them. They need you and they need that comfort from a mother.
Yes. And even before this stage, they are helpless.
Yeah.
In that they need you to bathe them, feed them, clothe them, and most of all, to love them up. And kiss them up. You know, long ago we used to kiss up the babies and say, kuchi, kuchi,
Yeah.
koo, and all kind of thing long
Gosh.
time. But they say it's good to talk to the children and not kuchi, kuchi, koo them, right?
No baby language.
No baby language. Even from that age, start to speak to them because we don't understand that they are hearing.
Yes.
And even from that age. But that is the stage when children learn to trust.
Yeah.
So however we treat a newborn baby going up to that 1-year-old is how they are going to see the world. So if you are loving and warm and hugging them and making sure they get their breast milk on time or whether it's bottle fed, you're doing it on time. They learn to trust their caretakers and they learn to trust their environment. So at that stage is where trust is built even from then in a baby. Which means, Arlene, if you do negative things at that time, then the opposite will come. Mistrust even from that early stage.
And the trust comes to Kathy because they know too that when their pampers is wet, somebody changing it.
Yes.
Trust comes when they are hungry, mommy will give me milk.
Yes.
That is how they develop the trust and they realize somebody is coming to attend to my need.
Yes.
And when you abandon the baby, you see where the mistrust comes in.
Yes.
When you leave the baby and you go,
Yes.
and one of the things they said, a lot of the young parents have problem with babies these days, Katian. You realize some of them, they are not mature enough and they have these babies and they leave them unattended.
Yes.
And here the mistrust
Steps in.
because the baby is bawling, crying.
Yes.
Some of them leaving the baby to go party and try to reach back home in time.
Yeah.
That's not working. You
Yeah.
understand? So we want to encourage mothers at this time, this stage, the baby needs you.
Yes. And really, as you said, this says at this stage really adolescents because of how, I guess it's how they are not mature enough.
Yeah.
When they have these babies as teenagers,
Yeah.
because they are still babies themselves.
That's right.
And they still need to learn how to care for their own selves. So when they don't know what to do, that is why we'd have problems with the children as they go along. And in a time like this, we want to really encourage, although we don't like it to happen to our children, we want to encourage mummies and guardians and those who are elder to help support that young person who may, at that time make a foot may slip.
Yeah.
That you would support them because it's all about that child being reared, feeling safe and comfortable.
Kathy, because I remember I had Destiny at 30,
Yeah.
which is like an old woman according to the nurse in the hospital.
Yes.
And still, I was so happy for my mom and my friends too, and
Yeah.
all who came and helped Kathy and you know, Denise would come and help me with Destiny.
Yes.
Everybody from South and meet her, and I was so grateful for the help.
Yes.
You know, so I could think about a very, very young person having a child, and this child is crying in your head, you know, thank Destiny to get up and cry 2 o'clock in the morning, Kathy,
Yes.
and Marcy needs to take Destiny and walk her St. Joseph Road that hour. It is
Yes.
a lot to have a child
Child.
at that age.
Yes.
So imagine for a teenager.
Yes, yes, and research has shown that babies born to adolescent mothers are most likely to have academic issues.
Yeah.
I mean, it is something else. So it really means that we must step in
To
and
help.
to help and be a support.
Yeah. So
Yes,
true.
Arlene, yeah.
So true. So let's move on to the next stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next stage is between the ages of 1 to 3.
Yes.
And at that stage, you know, they are infants now, Katia.
Yeah.
And they are now developing and exploring, you know. They want to touch. They
Yeah.
want to crawl, but they move from crawling now to walking, so it's speed.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the Caribbean here, some people, Katia, they clear out their whole living room.
Yeah.
They move everything because they do not want the child to touch or to bounce up or to put their hand where their hand not supposed to go, especially in the kitchen on a stove. But
Yeah.
it's only because the child wants to explore we see this happening at this stage.
And that's why they call it the terrible twos.
Oh my.
Yes, and this is the stage when the parents decide I need to lock the cupboards because you could crawling around and you could go and drink the bleach or drink pitch oil,
Yes.
things that are poisonous. This is the
Yeah.
stage when we have to put the bars in front of the front door
Yes.
because you're looking to explore. If you all remember sometime last year, I think it was last year, that 2-year-old child who in Point Fortin, there was a child who walked away and ended up going and drowning.
Yeah,
The mother
yeah.
just saw him inside not long before.
Yes.
But the child somehow got outside and walked such a far distance and ended up drowning. So it's really a time when parents have to take precaution.
Yeah.
You don't have like an empty bucket or a bucket around the yard with water in it because they're going to experiment and they could fall into it head first. Nobody's around to see.
Yeah.
We don't have open electrical outlets in case they want to take a little piece of wire and stick it in it. They're so curious at this stage.
Yeah.
So we really have to keep an extra eye on them at this time.
And they are, this time, Kathy, they are dependent on their parents. Although you see, they want to be independent. You're saying, don't do that. No, mommy, no, mommy. This is the no stage. Everything is no, 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 no. Because, you know, they want to feel that they are independent. Like we say in Trinidad, they feel they're big.
Yes.
You know, but it's just because they want to explore and to see what is happening there. So we as the parents, guardians, babysitters, we have to be there, support, have eyes on them because they are quick at this stage.
Yes. And then we go to the stage of, 3 years old and up, Ali.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when they're getting ready for preschool.
Yes.
This is a time when they want to play Mr. Independent and Miss Independent. They want to tie their own shoelaces.
Yeah.
What do they want to do again?
Match the clothes.
Hey.
From small, Katian.
Yes.
No, this is the color for them and this. No, mommy, I want this color. Small, Katian.
Yes. They want you to hand them the toothbrush because they want to brush their teeth.
Yes, yeah.
And this is a time, you want to make sure they're potty trained.
Yeah. Yes, and this is a hard time, Katian, for parents.
Yes.
Thank God my mother stepped in there.
The next stage we'll be looking at really is from about 3 years old to 8 years old. Although we know that it's a bit extended. So we'll start from what happens around 3 years old and up.
And that is preschool time, like we say here, and it's a time where we want to teach them to be independent too. And they want their independence, where they want Katia, and they want to tie their own shoelaces.
That's
and sometimes you waiting to take these children to school, and you know they're staying so long to tie this bow, but they want to do it for themselves.
Yes, and they want to eat. They want to eat for themselves. And the mess they're making, you just have to put a little towel under them and just let them make the mess, you know.
Yeah.
Because they want to eat for themselves.
Yes.
They want to brush their own teeth.
Yes.
But you know what you want most at this time? To ensure that they potty train.
Yeah, yeah.
More than anything else, huh?
Yeah. And these things are important because from that age, Katya, and it helps to build their self-esteem.
Yes.
It helps to build their confidence.
Yes.
I can do this.
Yes.
I am growing up. And like we like to say here, these children like to say, I'm getting big.
Yes. And it is important at this stage that you help encourage the independence.
Yes.
In that they
yeah.
want to do things. I remember my daughter going to visit somewhere and she saw the lady had potatoes and things, and she was 3 and she went and she was touching the potatoes, and this is me coming and slapping her. No, because I feel in shame. You're going by somebody's house and you're touching. And the lady said, Sister Ryan, that's what she says, let her touch it. She's curious. She wants to know what it is. You know, let her feel it. And you know, as an elder, I understood when she said, allow them to grow. And I'm not saying you let them go and make an uproar of people's houses. Eh?
No.
What we are saying though is still to teach them things. So even you as a parent, you are like the first teacher. So if we have an apple home, you let them see apple red.
Yeah.
Pomsy yellow, but you use that time to teach them and make them feel like they're getting big too. Eh?
That's right. That's right. And then Katya, from there they go to what we call middle childhood, which is from 9 to 11. And we want to talk a little bit there after, you know, they move and they're feeling better about themselves because we encourage the independence. And Katya, just before even that childhood from 9 all around 6, 7 and 8, you know, there are some children, Katya, who may grow up, we want to touch on this a little bit, and they may be very slim, as we say here. And then there are some in Trinidad, we say they're a little ticky, and we want to speak to parents to be careful in their attire.
Yes.
To dress them according to the age.
Yes, yes.
Because at that age, although we want to encourage them to have their self-confidence and their esteem to be high, we see here in Trinidad where sometimes we do not dress them appropriately, Katian.
Yes.
Where sometimes the children outfits are for older people.
Yes.
We have to, in each stage, to stay in the lane of that stage. And even with our tie and the things that we do, let it be appropriate to the stage.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. I will give an example. You shouldn't be going down in, I'm in town. So you're not going down in Port of Spain and you're going to see the little child with a halter back and a hot pants. And you're walking down Frederick Street and you're feeling proud. Your daughter, little 4-year, 5-year-old, 7-year-old in braids. And this child, she feeling big up. So only she walking and she's shaking too.
Yes.
Because you're dressing in a certain way that is considered sexy.
Yeah.
And it's important, parents, that we know she hasn't reached that stage.
Yeah.
And we want to let you know that because not everybody has a clean mind.
Yeah.
Some big man could be watching that little child.
Yes, we have some pervert outside there and they'll be watching that child with lust in their eyes and their mind.
Yes.
And they're suiting the children too.
Yes, yes.
You know, and your child at this age, sometimes they themselves, they don't understand and they're saying this gentleman calling them or suiting them, offering them stuff. They're going towards the person too if you are not there.
Yes.
So we have to be careful. We have to be careful and let them dress, Kathy-Ann.
Stay in their lane.
That's right.
Stay in their age group.
Don't let them act big up too.
Yes. Oh gosh. That is something, for me, that is something that bothers me to see a little child, you know, acting big up, talking big up and behaving big up.
Yeah.
We say, oh God, she maturing. No.
Yeah.
Keep our children as children and let them go through the stages as they should go
That's
through.
Right. That's
Ali,
right. That's
agree?
so true. I
Yes.
so agree. I know, Katya, and one of the things too as parents, we must not encourage our children to lie for us.
No.
Go and tell the neighbor I'm not home.
No.
Tell the neighbor so and so and so. And at that stage, we like to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we sending them to buy cigarettes and things for us
Yes.
as adults.
Yes.
To buy a beer in the shop.
Yes.
Remember, they are children.
Yes, and we are setting a very, very bad foundation for them when we encourage them, when we send them to do these things. It happened to me in my life as a child. You know? And at that time, it was still you get away with it, but now it's against the law.
Yeah.
So we have to be very, very careful. And
Katya, one of the reasons we have to be careful, we have to remember another stage is coming.
Yes.
And when we train them to go and get these things for us at this stage, the next stage they'll be getting it for themselves.
And not alone, when you train them to lie at this stage, then after a while they're starting to lie to you.
Yeah. True. True.
because you showing them to lie and it becomes
Yeah.
normal. You're
Yeah.
normalizing lying.
Yeah.
And we don't realize because you just want to bail out from the neighbor. Tell neighbor Jane I ain't home, eh?
Yeah.
And the child will go, she not home, mommy not home.
Yeah.
But what we really don't realize, we are inculcating things in the children that we should not do. And I have to confess, I did it already in the past. And it is something that we should not do.
Yeah. And another thing we like to do here in the Caribbean, especially around carnival season, they like to show how the little children could whine.
Yeah.
Come, come, come. She could whine, you know. She could
Yes.
whine. Why are we doing that?
Yes.
Why are we showing the neighbor? And sometimes the neighbor may have male relative. And we showing them how little children whining and going straight down to the
That's right,
ground.
that's right.
That is not age appropriate
It
at
is
all.
not. It is not. So parents, we make so many little mistakes
Yeah, we do.
through the stages of our children.
Yeah.
And we have to know. I pray that we would, we understand as we go along that we keep them in the lane.
Yeah.
And their children, allow them to be children.
Children,
They were
yes.
not born for us to use as a circus piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people use them, why they dress them that way. They want to say, I dress up my child and I go down and people watching and say, look how my child looking nice now. But that is not what God gave us our children for.
yeah.
So let's remember to grow them up in a way that
Yes.
will be healthy for them.
Yes. And you know, Kathy, and some of these things as parents that we do, it come back and bite us.
Yeah.
So we want to be very careful as we grow also and look at our children in their different stages and make sure that we as parents are doing the right thing. And we want to encourage you as parents to read.
Yes.
Talk to another parent, find
Yes.
out. We know there is not one script for every child, you know, but at least find out wise counsel is important. What to do?
Yes.
I see my daughter or my son is doing this. What can I do? Find out.
Yes.
You know.
Very true.
And now we want to go to an exciting stage, adolescence, Kathy, and 12
Yes.
to 18.
Yes. Very wide.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait when I was 12 years old. I said, God, I want to be a teenager.
Yes.
Fast, Lord. Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Teenagers having all the fun.
Fun, yeah.
And
Getting
all
to
the
go all the
rules.
places.
I get them to tell them to stay home.
Yeah. Teenagers getting to go all the places, and especially
Yes.
when they get closer to 18, Katian.
Wow.
Oh my God, but you're big, you could vote, you could do different things.
Yes, but this is a time when peer pressure is at its highest.
Yeah.
Now this peer pressure thing starting since only 8 and
Yeah.
8 coming up 9, 10.
Especially in this time, eh,
Yes.
Katian?
Yes, and competition since before you're fighting to do better than your peers in
Yeah.
school and everything. But now you're reaching now the peer pressure is so strong.
Yeah.
And because it is, you want to prove yourself. So you end up doing things.
Yes, and it's a stage of identity crisis.
Yeah.
Each child is trying to find themselves. They want to
Yes.
know who they are.
Yes.
We have gender issues happening here. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah.
And we see the world is pushing this gender issue where they are trying to tell you your sex.
Yes.
You know, and so now teenagers are fighting on their own. Who am
Yes.
I?
Yeah.
So this is a stage
It's
for us.
confusing, eh?
Yes. So we want to encourage parents in
Yes.
helping their children
Yes.
and giving the children the tools and
Yes.
encouraging them, praising them so that they can find themselves. Because
Selves.
at this time, their peers is everything in the world.
How you mean?
And if they are the wrong peers, Katian,
That's to tell you, that's the heading the other direction. This is time when parents have a little pull and talk.
Yeah.
Why? Mommy says something and the peer says something, and what the peer says is like it's stronger than mommy. It
Yeah.
have more weight.
yes,
And
so
they
it's
want
plenty
to please.
rebellion
Plenty rebellion.
during this stage.
Yes, you want to break peace. That you
Yeah.
can hear the smoking behind the school.
Yes.
You find they're doing all the little things because they so want to fit in.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to, as the parents, ask God for divine wisdom. Lord, how do I deal with my teen?
Yeah. And Katian, you know, one of these Irish dramatists said that youth is wasted on the young.
Wow.
All the energy they have, all the time they have,
Yeah.
they do things that they shouldn't do.
Yes.
But we want to encourage us who are older and wiser to work
Yes.
with them.
Yes.
Just say, see them, I leave them.
Yes.
Let them do what they want. No, because that will be wasting their time. The amount of good things that youths could do now with their time, build a business, build a career, and build relationship. We want to encourage them, yes, have relationship with peers, but have relationship with older people who are wiser than you also at this time. So you can make some good concrete decisions in your life.
Yeah, and this stage is also a very reckless time because at time you want to experiment. So it's a time you might find careless, you want to have careless relationships
Yeah.
because you want to show, look, I have a boyfriend, look, I have a girlfriend.
Because my friend have it.
Your friend
Yeah.
have it, and then your friend say, you're a virgin?
Yeah.
Boy, you from
We
a
keep
long
it-
time.
Yes.
We're keeping that for.
Yes.
And they're trying to make you feel so bad about it
Yeah.
that you start to decide you want to experiment and
And
have
try.
careless sex. And that is where we have adolescents having children,
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
spoke about earlier.
Yes. So I love this stage, and this is a stage where we can really mold
And shape.
you know, and
Yes.
ask God, like you said, Kathian, to give us the wisdom, and stop saying as parents, oh, that they had their own mind.
Yes, and they're just going through a phase.
Yes.
When they're behaving bad, you say, you give them it's just a phase they're going through. Hold them at that time.
Yeah.
Work with them.
Yeah.
And that own mind thing, Aline?
Yeah, that is not a good saying, because, you know, we say they have their own mind when it comes to especially things of the Lord. Where them this Sunday? Well, you know, them children had their own mind. They're going to so and so and so. Why they're not in
Yes.
youth meeting? They had their own mind, you know, they went so
Yes.
and so. But, you know, we're not saying they had their own mind when we had to send them to school.
No.
And when it's
Because
time
you're
for
making
lesson.
sure they go, yes.
Yes.
You
So-
making sure they go. It's true, you know.
Yes, it's true.
You're making sure they go to the things that you consider.
Important. Yes.
So I'm going to bring it down on the parent now.
Yes.
The problem is the parent right now.
Yes, because the most important thing is their soul, and why it is you are saying they have their own mind when it comes to kingdom business.
Yes.
Why you should be praying and say they must have the mind of Christ. That is
yes.
the mind they have to have.
Yes, and here we say, they're too young.
Yeah.
They're too young.
Yeah.
What, they're too young? It have people, it have children just put bomb on them and go and blow
Blow
up
up
themselves
cities,
and
yeah.
blow up people
Yeah.
and kill people.
Yeah.
Young so, with
Yeah.
their belief so strong in whatever they believe in. And then we say our children are too young when
Yeah.
they say, take your child with you to school.
Yeah.
No, they're too young. And
church, yeah.
take your time to church. I mean, they're too young and they wouldn't understand.
Yeah, they
People,
understand.
they do understand.
They understand. So we don't want youth to be wasted on the young. So we want to encourage parents and teenagers, if you are hearing us,
Yes,
use your time wisely.
yes.
Use this stage and this season wisely. Listen to wise counsel.
Yes.
The Bible says he called the young because they are strong. The Lord
Yes.
called you young. This is the time to go and evangelize. You all have the strength. You all have the strength to stay up the whole night prayer meeting. You all have the strength to fast right through with water. We used to do that long time. Now, Kathy and I can't go sometimes. I can't make a water fast. Like I need a little fruit or a hot cup of tea.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And I said that is why you have to do all the things you could do for the Lord while you are young.
Yes.
12 to 18, that is the age.
Those were the years Arlene and I, we walked a place called 70 Mile Hill.
Yeah.
Probably 3 times a week,
Yeah.
heading up the road by our church, whether it was youth meeting or whatever. But it kept us.
Yeah.
It kept us to now because we gave God those years.
Yeah.
Something was ingrained deeply in our hearts, and we say we're not going to let go God at all.
No, no. And you know, I thank God I see the fruits, Kathian.
Yes.
I see how God have kept us because we give that time.
Yes.
You know, and youth, you have nothing to lose giving your
Nothing.
time to God.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Totally
nothing,
agree.
Nothing.
Totally
And
agree.
you know, we, Katya, we enjoyed our youth.
Yes.
And we had wise counsel. You know, Katya and I, we were young, but our Aunt Olive, she was older than us. But she was there with us, supporting us, encouraging us.
Yes.
You know, we had Junior Ross who
Yes.
was there teaching us. We had
Yes.
older people who was there. We opened our hearts and life to them
Yes.
so that we could have learned and grow.
And I heard you say something there, Arlene, opened it. And that's
Yeah.
sometimes with young people, they want to close it.
Yeah.
Because you old and what all you have to tell me, all you could teach me, all you don't understand, because you're from a different generation, all you
Yeah.
don't understand the culture, now we music, now all you from the past, like all
Yeah.
your archaic.
Yes.
You know, they really look at us like a fossil, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you find a fossil from a dinosaur?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not understanding the importance we are to them.
Yes.
You know? So I really want to encourage young people.
Yes. And have good relationship with your parents. At this time, they don't want to spend any time with you. They're in their room all the time. No, come talk with mommy, talk with daddy, learn something.
Yeah, this is a stage when Mr. Cell Phone is king.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, so because you're in that cell phone, you're in that bedroom with that cell phone, your
Yeah.
plate on the ground in your bedroom, your cup on the ground in your
Yeah.
bedroom, everything. Your snack back on the ground in your bedroom, everything, because you're eating everything in that room.
Yeah.
You ain't coming out. And it's a time really, folks and parents, we really have to really help, really work with them, talk
Yeah.
to them, and
Yeah.
shape them.
Yeah, because it's one of the best time in their
It
lives.
is the best, yes.
Yes. So we want to move on, Katia, and although we love this
Oh,
stage, we
yeah.
love this stage, we want to go to adulthood. You know,
Yes.
Destiny told me recently she is doing something, and she said, Mommy, I'm feeling like an adult. I say, yes.
Yes.
Now is the time to mind your business.
Yes, yes. And
You
this adulthood,
understand?
it comes in 3 stages.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the early stage of the
Yes.
adulthood, and that is
Middle,
between when?
25 to 45.
25 to 45 years old.
And then we have middle, 45 to 65. And then we have late adulthood, 65 years and up.
Right, and that first adult stage is when you're looking for love.
Yes.
You're looking for love at that stage, you
Katia and
know.
I define love. I married at 24.
I don't find it and marry at that stage. You understand me?
Yes, yes,
And I was having the first baby already.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was adulting people,
Yeah.
you know. But it's from that age there that you
Yeah.
find that early adulthood, you're looking for love, you're looking for permanent relationship.
Yeah.
While as a teen, you're looking for a girlfriend and a boyfriend. When you reach that stage of early adulthood, you're looking for marriage. You're
Yeah,
looking, you want to
yeah.
start a family.
Yeah, serious relationship.
Serious. I want somebody to commit to.
Yeah, yeah, it is true. And this is somewhere also to Katia, where we start our careers.
Of course.
You know, I want to do this. I decided, yes, I made a decision.
Yes.
This is what I'm going to do. So this is my study part. This is where I'm going to finish. And you have your things planned out.
Yes.
You have
that's so
vision for
true.
yourself at this age.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So we're looking at career,
Yeah.
and we're looking at family.
Yes, relationships.
And relationship.
Yeah.
And this is also a good stage to still keep the elders guiding you.
Yes.
Because as a young married man or young married woman or a young parent, you don't know what to do because
Yeah.
there is no manual really out there,
Yeah.
you know, and you lean on the elders for help if you know you need anything.
Yes. You know, 1 Kings 12:6 said that Solomon, the man of all wisdom,
Yes.
he sought the wisdom of older men who help him with important decisions.
Yes.
And this was Solomon.
Yes.
So this is, as you said, Katia, a good period to keep seeking wisdom.
Yes. And that
Because-
is why they call him the wise. He was the wisest king who ever lived.
Yeah, yeah. Because Katia, a wrong decision, especially in a relationship like marriage, is like hell on earth.
Yes, it could impact your entire life.
Yes.
Because you made a wrong choice during this time
Yeah.
when you're looking for
Yeah,
love.
yeah, yeah.
And that could create, you know, so much a headache to
Down
go
the
into the
road.
next stage.
Yes.
And headache into the next stage.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage people at this stage, put your thinking cap on.
Yes.
Ask God for wisdom when you're making your choices.
Yeah,
All right, and as we said, even with your career, you don't want to be knocking all over the place.
Yeah.
So sit down and think. It's the stage for me to think about maturity. So let me get my act together. Now is not the time to be in my mother's house with my foot cocked up and I'm sleeping
Yeah.
whole day.
Whole
Now
day.
is the time to be thinking about a future, because if you're a man, I got a family to take care
Yes.
of. If you're a young woman, I got to put myself in place to be ready to take care of a family also.
That's
so
right.
it's time to be responsible.
Make sure you know how to cook, how to take care of the home. We're not saying that you're preparing yourself to be a maid.
No.
No.
Yes.
Or
So
but
true.
you'll be a good helpmeet if it's
Yes.
marriage is in your vision, or if that's what God wants for you. So
Yes.
you have to prepare yourself. Don't wait until you get somebody. Use this time, 25, you're preparing yourself. You're having yourself together, as we say.
Yeah.
And you know, with career, Katia, you could change your career. But you see, relationship, this is so important, Katia.
Very true, very true.
Because we don't want to divorce. Because
No.
God hates it.
Yeah.
And we are not condemning those who are divorced, but what we are saying, make the right choice. It is important, so you won't have to be changing down the road.
Yes, and why we want you to get ready. You know, some people say, I want to drive. I want to drive. And I go and buy a car. And you ask them, you have your license? No. And at this stage, you want to get married, but
Yeah.
you don't want to extend yourself and do the things and start to practice the things that a married person would have. So
That's
I
right.
don't do food. I
Yeah.
don't like to wash wares.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that.
I
I
do
don't like.
washing clothes.
Yes.
My nails.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
saying that, but yet you're saying you want someone.
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
is for also the men too, huh?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to stereotype on who washing the wares and who
No.
cooking
Yeah, learn
and
to
who
cook.
washing clothes. Both parties learn to cook because
Yeah.
when you come together, we would realize that we need to help one another when we're
Yeah.
building our families.
That's right, that's right. So this is really a building stage, Katian.
Yes.
Building career, building relationship,
Yes.
strengthening ourselves in the Lord.
Yes.
Deciding that no, this is not time to waste. We
You
want to
know,
spend time
it's a
with the
serious
Lord.
time.
I am teaching, I'm going to preaching, I'm an evangelist. What it is.
Yes.
This is serious time.
Time it is. Yes,
Life
it is.
making decisions happen here in this stage.
That's right. Yes.
I love the stage.
I love it.
I love the stage.
Yes,
You
but-
went through this.
Yes, but I love the one I'm in more now.
Middle adulthood,
Middle
45 to
adulthood.
65?
Yes. People, I am happy being in my 50s.
Yeah.
You know, you see some people say, I wish I was young. I want to be like a teenager. I don't want to be a teenager. Teenager had too much stress.
Yeah.
I love where I am. You know why?
Yeah.
There was an experience that I got through the years.
Yes.
Now that I feel so good about myself.
Yeah.
You know, there is this silly thing I used to tell Arlene. Arlene, I'm big now, you know, I be making fraud.
Yeah.
And Arlene used to always be laughing at me. And I was saying that because there is a maturity I feel about myself now.
Yeah.
I feel like I could teach.
Yeah.
I feel like I could encourage younger
Yeah.
girls, younger men, anybody who is younger, that I could encourage them and
Yeah.
advise them.
And then, Kathian, you know, you are really confident in God
Yes.
and who you have become at this age.
Yes.
Because now you are saying, I am Arlene Owen. I know who I am in Christ.
Yes.
You know, and the critics don't bother you anymore as before when you were younger and teenagers. They say something, it bother you. No, you are
Yes.
about your father business.
Yes.
You know what you are called to do.
Yes.
You know your purpose.
Yes.
And you're running on your lane.
Yes.
And everything else is like water and dog back. I love this
Yes.
stage
I love
according to
it.
you.
I love it.
It's like a stage where you finally found yourself.
I love it. I was going to say the same
Yes.
thing. Arlene, you know, I find myself.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a matter.
Yes.
Kathian, and you know who you are, and you're walking in that confidence.
Yes.
And you know, you're deciding, I am moving forward like Johnny Walker, keeping walking.
Yes, yes, yes. And you know, this is a stage when there is menopause issues.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And you know, sometimes those like the stage when it affects some people differently.
Yeah.
And so we prepare for it.
Yeah.
We prepare for it. And you know, so menopause will come at this stage. Body pains. I
Yeah,
could
oh my
tell you
God. Yeah.
sometimes I bend down and I can't get back up. You find I
Yeah.
looking young.
Yeah.
I bend down and I have to pull on me quick on my knees.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
it's the time when changes are taking place. I forget and I put the comb in the fridge
Yeah.
because, and then I have to go back there and how. So it's really
But we want
things happen, but it's a beautiful stage.
Yeah, but although you're going through menopause, we want to encourage women, you know, to speak to somebody, and we are having an episode on menopause shortly.
Yes,
So
good.
look forward for that episode.
Yeah.
And this is a stage where you can cause conflict in your marriage, Kathian, because
Yes.
menopause sometimes.
Edgy.
Yes, we edgy.
You want to bite off your husband in the head.
Yes, sometimes you're feeling hot, sometimes you're feeling cold.
Yes.
You know, and you will. And even those who premenopause like myself, I am not into menopause as yet, but I mean at my age, you all should know it right around the corner.
Yes.
And you have to make sure and talk to yourself as women. If you find it edgy, oh gosh, cool down.
Yes.
You know, and spouses try and understand the woman in this stage. It's
Yes,
menopause.
yeah.
They're sweating,
Yeah,
get the
we-
AC.
Yes, and that happened to me, girl. AC upstairs and downstairs, I
Yeah.
couldn't manage.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold up people, and people don't understand how bad it is to go
Yeah,
through it.
yeah.
And they say, well, to you, that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
It affects people differently till it
Yeah.
even affects their confidence in themselves.
Yes.
So sometimes they may have to go by the drugstore and get a little thing to help
Yeah.
deal with how you're feeling. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to go and get a good counseling and
Yeah.
to be spoken to because how you react to situations.
Yes, and Kathian, in this stage too, we see a lot of separation in marriages
Mm-hmm.
because one have come, like we said just now, I finally find myself.
Yes.
I ain't taking that no more. anymore. And we see a
Yes.
lot of separation, and we ask the question is, but they have been married 20 and 25 years, how they separating? But it's
Yes.
because they have finally found themselves and they decided certain things are not taking anymore.
Yeah.
But what we want to encourage, don't separate, find counsel.
Yes.
Try to find a way to deal with this situation, although you have found yourself.
Yes. Yes. That's so very true.
Yeah,
Yes. In all your finding,
Yeah.
find wisdom.
Yeah.
In the-
And keep your spouse. And keep your spouse.
Yes.
Yeah. Because this stage now that is coming up, you need a spouse, somebody to rub you down with balm.
Yes.
Yeah, because
your children would have flown the coop.
Yeah.
They go on the way. Although we long, thank God for our beautiful children.
Yeah.
But when they get married, their allegiance is to their mate.
That's right.
And it should be to their mate.
Yes.
You know. So right now, you thank God for the mate that you have, and
Yes.
you cherish them.
Yes. And in this late stage of adulthood is where some people look back and they regret and
So
say,
you're in the
I
late
should have.
stage now?
Yeah. I should have.
Yeah.
I could have.
Yes.
I didn't.
Yes.
You know, and that's why we went through these stages, and we was encouraging and telling the youths, don't waste their time, because when you reach this stage, you're looking back and saying, I should have.
Yes.
You know, but we want to encourage older people, don't get depressed.
No.
Thank God for where you are and keep pressing still as long as there's
Pressing
breath.
forward.
You understand?
Pressing forward.
And there's pain and ache, but still get up and walk, exercise.
Yes.
Find a reason to live and live well in this stage.
Yes, this stage enjoy your grandchildren,
Yes,
man.
yeah.
They become your comfort.
Yeah,
You
company too.
And company. Enjoy your grandchildren and don't be
Yeah.
a grump. You know,
No.
some people say, she old and she grumpy.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
be a old blessing.
To your grandchildren. Be there
And
for
to
your
anybody. Wherever you go at this stage, study, how can I be? Young man, how you going?
Yeah.
You just be the say, oh gosh, Miss so-and-so, she nice, eh?
Yeah.
You find out how the young people going. How can you be a blessing to them? Because your life still has value and worth at this stage.
Yeah, and don't be cussing the neighbor at this stage, Katian, because you could fall down on the same neighbor to come and help you. You see old people cursing and getting on and saying, but what wrong with that old person?
Yes.
Granny nearly to she grave, but
Yes.
she behave.
Yes.
Yes, Katian. I'm not sure if you saw this video where the granny was whining down low, Katian, and I'm saying,
Yes.
Granny, come now, man, Granny, serve God now.
Yes, and not that alone, the audience saying, go granny, go granny, go granny. And as they say, go granny, like granny getting petrol. And if I see weight, and it's like, no,
Yes,
that
yes,
should
yes.
not happen.
Yes.
This is the time you are supposed to be now putting things in the lives of young
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
You know, your hairs, your gray hairs,
Yeah.
supposed to bring a level of wisdom.
Wisdom,
So you have
yes.
to be responsible. You
Yeah.
have had your days and your
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Now is the time to teach
Yes.
and not to try to be the center of attraction
And
in a way
attention.
that
Yes.
looks distasteful
Full,
for an
yes.
adult. And sometimes, Aline, I'm downtown, and if you see old ladies in, I love to say halter back, Aline, and all the back fat, all and hanging over.
Yeah. But
And they don't care, and the tights, and you're seeing what's happening with the legs and the tights and a short top. And I'm saying, why doesn't Granny stay in her lane?
yes.
There was a time for that when you were younger.
Yeah.
People, we need to embrace our stages and embrace it with love.
Yes.
And the stage will love you back.
Yes. You know, another stage too, we want to encourage older people, have your will. Don't die and have your children fighting.
That's right.
Get your life in order.
Order, yes.
Make sure you have your will. You know who you're leaving. I'm leaving this earring for my grandchild.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the land and the house for my son.
Yes.
I'm leaving this dress for my daughter.
Daughter.
Put it in writing.
Yes.
Get your house in order. Make sure you and Christ good, because your number, anybody number could call, but we realize you're getting closer to the grave according to the stages of life.
Yes.
So put your house in order. Do appropriate things.
Yeah.
Spend time with your grandchildren. Love them up. Tell them about the Lord. Tell them about long time. What all you used to do.
Yes.
Tell them where you went. And say, grandchild, bless them. Every time they
Yes.
pass, bless them. Bless your daughters. Spend time in prayer for them.
Yes. Arlene, you said something good there when you said about making the will.
Yeah.
Why I am saying that is because my mother, she sought her burial even before she died.
Yeah.
years before, she went and took out this plan and she paid off for her entire funeral.
Yeah, her cough and everything. Yeah.
Yes, it was so wonderful that when she died, we didn't have to think twice.
Yeah.
Whereas some people say, well, let they eat, man.
Yeah.
They spend every cent, they eat out
Yes.
every cent, they don't
Yeah.
care. They say, well, when I dead, I does not me. I don't know what happened to
done.
me.
When
So
I
if they
dead, I
want, let
done.
them throw me down the hill or let them eat me if they want. That is an irresponsible task to put on some of your children, especially if your children may be struggling.
Themselves.
You
Yeah.
have them running all over and pulling out their hairs, wondering how we going to take care of this when you had the capacity to put it together and say, I'm going to do this and make sure that my children don't have problems later on. Be an responsible adult.
Amen. Amen. So true.
Amen.
So we hope you really enjoy these stages, and yes, put it in the comments. We know we miss out some things because we have 30 something minutes to do this.
Yes.
But we hope what we have said so far have encouraged you to embrace your
Yes.
stage that you are in.
Yes, embrace it, love it,
Yeah.
feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
From the child, we want to tell the little child,
Yeah.
feel good. You are beautifully and wonderfully made,
Amen.
fearfully
Amen.
and
Amen.
wonderfully made. As you grow older, youth, you are been called, set apart by God. As we grow older, poor people, we have something to give back.
Yeah.
So remember, embrace our stages
Yeah.
and love ourselves.
Yes.
Amen, Als?
And live for Jesus
Amen.
in each stage of your life.
In each stage.
Bless you all. See
Bless
you all
you
next
all.
time on
Azar.
Azar.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.